bad actors are selling your information online now on the dark web, right? So there's this whole marketplace in the digital landscape where people are trading back and forth, and it's all about information. To jump ahead, because the statistic, raised my eyebrows. Essentially, when it comes to phishing, the main point of phishing attacks is just to actually get the credentials. 70% of the aim of phishing attacks is to get your login information.
Will you explain to people what phishing is for those who don't know?
So phishing is really when an email is sent that has bad link in it. It's trying to get you to click on something and take you somewhere to enter in your information, whether it's your sensitive information or whether it's your credentials. So it's basically taking you to a place that's not really what it's saying that it is and getting you to enter information.
Right. And a lot of, to your point before, that information is usually used for two purposes. One is to access something so that someone can take something from you, whether that's money or credit card information or whatever, or sometimes they're just selling that information online, for money in that way. So either your sensitive information is getting sold or it's being used to try to, take something from you.
Correct. Yes.
So I know from us talking about this a lot that phishing is not a new technique, right? I mean, I can remember seeing phishing style emails going back probably 15 or 20 years, where there have been emails like that. But there's all kinds of different types of phishing now. They've become more sophisticated. Clearly, as we said earlier, right, the technology has gotten better. So the ability to suss out whether these are fraudulent or real is getting more and more difficult. And I always like what you say when we're around here talking to our folks at MWM, which is we have to assume everything is fraud, right? So it's almost like a change of mindset, right? Which is when you get an email and it says it's from your bank, you should assume it's fraudulent until you can verify that it's not, which is a totally different way than we've thought about things in the past. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree. I think that should actually be one of the takeaways for people to think about going forward. But yeah, I mean, I remember when we talked about this in 2021, the main thing that we talked about was phishing, because we were seeing, an increase at that time in phishing attempts, and we wanted people to be aware. We don't want people to be caught off guard. The thing that's frightening now is that with the development of AI, you're seeing increases in phishing attacks because AI is actually helping to work through some of that and make it more automated for bad actors to engage in those types of attacks. So you're seeing significant increases in phishing attempts. It is a persistent threat that in 2024 you saw like 58% increase in phishing attacks, which there was already like the number one way that the favorite tool of fraudsters to try to get something, but it's even more so now because it's kind of like, oh, you just got your button here, you can just click it and AI makes it all happen. And so that's kind of it's kind of frightening because you don't necessarily have people out there with the skill required to do those kind of things. It's kind of being like put in a box and provided to them. So that's something to just be aware of and keep in mind, that other developments in technology are continually shaping this space, and it's even more important for us to stay on top of it and stay ahead of it. I think you'll see, or you will start to see, I mean, we're already starting to see, obviously, institutions and even financial institutions are going to have to change the way that you engage with clients, right? The back end processes and risk management and evaluation of financial transactions and all of those types of transactions that we handle, like those are going to have to be reevaluated in light of the environment that we're in.
Yeah.
And it's challenging, right? Because it's a rapidly changing environment.
Absolutely. I think this is a great microcosm of the debate that's going on about the new technologies that are coming, specifically AI. Just to be clear, we are huge proponents of AI, right? We use it on a daily basis. Microsoft Copilot has become, an invaluable part of our day-to-day lives from an efficiency standpoint. But you can take any virtuous tool and put it in the hands of bad people, and it becomes a tool for nefarious activity, right? And so, we're not criticizing the tool. Generative AI is, going to be a game changer all across, our world. But to your point, it makes already sophisticated fraudsters more sophisticated. It also lets them scale faster, right? So like they can hit more people more quickly, meaning that, someone's going to fall into their trap because they're just spreading a wider net, and that's easier for them to do using AI. And then the other thing is someone who is not, maybe didn't have the capability to be a fraudster, but wants to be, now probably has the ability, because they now have a tool that can kind of help them move that forward. These tool, any tool, doesn't matter what it is, right? Any tool in and of itself is not judged, right? But if it's in the hand of a bad actor, it can obviously enhance their capabilities. And that's essentially what we're seeing.
Yes. And it's, there are more avenues for that to be spread out amongst the population. You've got emails, right? Now you're looking at, other phishing type things, voice phishing, which is called vishing. That's when, phone calls or messages are designed to trick people into giving information, or even, voice authenticating people. So like taking a copy of your voice and then being able to use that and conduct transactions elsewhere. Smishing is another one that is a combination of text and phishing. So I'm sure everybody's probably seen, the text messages from the post office. Your package hasn't been delivered. Click here. So there's all kinds of different ways. It's not just email now. It's everything that you're being hit with or potentially being hit with. So it's quite frightening when you see something that says the democratization of cyber capabilities. You're just like,
It's
wow.
true. And you're right. You now get hit from every angle.